Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are all fine and doing good. So today in this video I am going to cover up the literature part. Okay, I am going to teach you English literature. Okay, so the name of our chapter is Glimpse of the Past. Fine. So here I am going to explain you about what happened in the past. Okay, what happened with our ancestors in the past. So we are talking about the past. Okay, and glimpse. Glimpse means a short look, like we can say jhalak. Fine. So here we are learning about glimpse of the past. Clear to everyone? Okay, next. So this is the summary. Okay, I am going to explain you in a nutshell. Okay, now see, glimpse of the past summary in English. Now, before starting towards this chapter, first of all, I would like to ask you some questions. Okay, some very important questions. Okay, so I hope we all know when did India got independence. Okay, so you tell me, can you tell me any good reason that why we need independence? Why did we need independence? We needed independence because we were controlled by British. Okay. Okay, now tell me, when British controlled India, okay, actually British controlled many parts of the country, fine, of the world, of the nation. So let us particularly talk about the country, that means India. So when British controlled India, what do you think would be his nature towards Indians? Do you think he would be treating us nicely, he would be receiving us well, greeting us well, or is there any other thing, his way of ruling? So what would be your answer? Your answer would be that they try to harass us. Okay, they always try to harass us, the Indians. They always try to harass the Indians. They were never happy with the Indians. So first of all, what happened? They try to establish business, and later on, gradually, they started dominating. Okay, dominating means to have an influence upon somebody. Clear? Okay. So when the British tried to dominate Indians, then what do you think would be the reaction of Indians? Okay, now let me take your example. Like suppose if you are being dominated or if you are being controlled by any of your friend or anybody, how would you feel? Definitely you would want freedom. Okay, because nobody likes to be in chain. Fine, everybody loves freedom. Okay, now you tell me the next question. The Britishers have got a very large rule. Okay, they are having a very strong hold over India. Okay, over Indians. So do you think it was possible for Indians to get the freedom so easily? No, the answer is no. It was not an easy task. So what they had to do? They had to revolt against the British. Clear? So here in this chapter I am going to explain you, we are going to learn that how and why did the Indians revolt against British. Okay, what was the reason that the British started dominating Indians? Okay, and later on, what did the Indians do in order to get freedom from the rule of the British? Okay, so now let us look at the chapter. Fine. Now see, glimpse of the past. Summary in English. Now see the year. It started in the year 1757 till 1849. Okay. Now see, in India of 1757, the East India Company was in a strong position. Okay, by the year 1757, East India Company. What is East India Company? I think you all know what is East India Company. East India Company is the name of the company of British. Okay, so East India Company is the name of the British company. Like we used to have many companies. Okay, like we used to have Tata Company, Maruti, and many more. Fine. In the same way, East India Company was the name of the company of British. Okay. So by the year 1757, East India Company was in a very strong position in India. Clear? Then compared to the Indian princes, okay, so previously we all know that India was ruled by the kings, okay, by the kings and prince. Fine. So earlier we were not holding any general assembly. General assembly was not conducted. Instead there was kingship. Fine. So compared to the Indian princes, they had superior weapons. Fine. So who had superior weapons compared to the Indian princes? It was the Britishers. Okay. They had superior weapons. I hope you all know what is weapons. Weapons is the arms used in fightings. Okay. Arms means the things with which we fight. Clear? And those arms are used in battlefield. Fine. Next. Besides, Indian princes were short-sighted and they approached to the events of the time. Okay. So what was the nature of Indian princes? They were short-sighted. What does short-sighted means? Short-sighted means they do not have the ability, or they don't even care, they don't even bother to look about the future, that what would be the outcome of their event which they are doing now. Okay, like suppose if we are going to do something, we would first of all we would calculate whether the things or the event which we are going to do would be in our we will receive the pros or cons of it. Okay, that means whether it will be advantageous or disadvantageous for us. Okay, but Indian princes they were short sighted. इसका मतलब ये होता है शॉर्ट साइटेड का मतलब हिंदी में ये बोलते हैं दूर का देखना. ठीक है, तो इंडियन प्रिंसेस दूर का नहीं देखते थे, वो बस फिलहाल का ही एटमॉस्फेयर वो देख करके सिचुएशन देख करके चीज़ों को टाल देता था. क्लियर? सो एंड बिसाइड इंडियन प्रिंसेस वर शॉर्ट साइटेड इन द अप्रोच टू द इवेंट्स ऑफ द टाइम. देन व्हाट हैपेंड? Indian princes were fighting each other. So Indian princes were having a very weak point. They are having a very bad habit that they were fighting with each other. So what did they do? The Indian princes, they take the help of the company in order to attack and hold power over the neighbor king. Okay, like suppose we can say this is Delhi. Okay, and this is like let us examine that this is Bihar. Okay, so what the king of Bihar or the princess the prince of Bihar wanted to be the king of the Delhi. So what will he do? He will take the help of the British company, okay, East India Company, and he would attack over the king of Delhi. Fine. So this was the nature and the habit of the Indian princes. Clear? So Indian princes were fighting each other. They often sought the help of the company to defeat other princes. Okay, so what did they do? They often means hamesha, all the time. Sought means to get, to seek. Okay, they often sought the help of the company to defeat other princes. This worked in favor of the company. So if the Indians have this nature, this attitude, then it was in the favor of the company, because there would be no unity among the Indian kings or the Indian princes. Clear to everyone? Okay. So with this nature, the Britishers, they came to know that Indians lack unity. Okay, they lack unity among themselves. So it could easily subdue these princes one after the other. So what was the outcome of it? The outcome of it was that the Britishers, they could very easily hold power over the Indian princes. However, the brave Tipu Sultan of Mysore fought against the British. Okay, but it was Tipu Sultan of Mysore, he fought against the British, and he died in battlefield fighting the English, and he died in the battlefield. Who died in the battlefield? It was Tipu Sultan, the king of Mysore. Fine. Next, the general reaction of British rule was not the same everywhere in India. Okay, and now the rule of the British was not the same everywhere in India. Somewhere they were holding a very strong power, whereas in the other place they were quite weak. Okay, where they were strong and where they were weak, they were strong over the states where there is lack of unity among the people and the king of that particular state. Okay, and they were weak on those states, on those parts where the public and the king collaborate with each other and work together. Fine. So, their rule, their general reaction was not the same everywhere in India. There were some who thanked British for ushering in an era of peace, and there were some who always thanked British for ushering, okay, for emerging in an era of peace. Era means time, okay, the decade or the time period. Okay, next. Others bemoaned that the country was subjected to foreign rule, whereas the others, okay, other people, they show discontent. They were having discontent, or they were having a sorrow feelings in their heart, because they could realize that they were subjected to foreign rule. Subjected to means they were under the control. Okay, they were under the control of the foreign rule. Okay, so I hope you understood what is the thing, what was the reason that the Indians became weak, okay, in front of the British. It was the lack of unity among themselves. Clear to everyone? Okay. Okay. Now, next. The next is the year 1765 till 1836. 1765 till 1836. So, now let us see what happened during these years. Now, the social fabric was in bad shape. Okay, social fabric. Now, what is social fabric? Social fabric means the bonding of the society. Okay, the bonding of the society, that means you can say the bonding of interstates, okay, was in bad shape. That means they were not cooperating with one another. Religious leaders preached absurd practices like untouchability and child marriage. Fine. So, even the religious leaders, they claim themselves to be the religious leaders, not only leaders but religious leaders. Religious means those who strongly believe on religion. Okay. Even those leaders, they preach absurd practices. Okay. Absurd practices means the practices which are widely unreasonable, okay, which is not appropriate. Fine. So, even these religious leaders, they preached absurd practices like untouchability and child marriage. So, I hope, do you know what is untouchability? Untouchability is the act of not touching the people of the lower rank, of the lower status. Okay, like in our Indian society, we have got chamars. Okay, we call them people of the lower rank or lower status. Fine. So, the Brahman or the Kshatriyas, they would not keep any connection with this untouchability people, okay, with the low rank people. They consider themselves superior in the society. Fine. And religious leaders also practice child marriage. Okay, child marriage means marrying before the correct age. Okay. So, now let us see. These religious leaders, they were practicing untouchability and child marriage. Okay. So, now see, let us particularly talk about untouchability. So, when we talk about untouchability, we would look to those sections of the society as inferior peoples. Okay, we would not treat them well. Even if they try to approach near, or suppose if they, when they try to come to the temple, they are always being stopped from entering into the temple. Okay, so now you just imagine how would they be feeling. Definitely they would be feeling bad. If you are maltreated by anyone, definitely, most probably you would feel bad, you will not feel good. But when you are treated well, you are greeted by someone, then only you will feel good. Yes or no? So in the same way, this untouchability, it brings differences among the society. In the society. Okay, it brings differences among people. So low caste people, they started hating the higher caste people. Okay, and then what was the outcome of it? There was the conflicts in the states among people. There were conflict means fightings. Okay, like Cold War, they were not in favor of one another. So all these things helped British to dominate Indians. Okay, when they know that two people are not greeting each other warmly, they are always fighting against each other, and they are having a cold war among themselves, then definitely it is sure that the third person would definitely try to take advantage. Yes or no? So who is the third person here? It is the Britishers. Okay, so the Britishers, they try to dominate Indians slowly and gradually. Clear? Next. In truth, Indians had lost their self-respect. So slowly and gradually what happened? Indians, we started losing their self-respect. Okay. Now see, what is the policy of British? What did British do? When the Indians are apart, okay, when they are not together, the people of the higher section and the lower section, what would British do? They would try to insult them. Okay, they would try to tell that you are the low people of the society, and even your own Indians don't love you, don't respect you. There is no brotherhood among yourself. Okay, this is what the British try to show Indians of the lower rank. Whereas to the Indians of the higher rank, those who are the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, what would be the answer of the British towards them? For them, it was that British would say that you don't love your own people. Oh, how you are mentally unfit. You are mentally unfit. You don't know how to love your own people. Okay, and they try to make fun of the Indians. So what was the outcome of it? What was the result of it? The result of it was that the Indians started losing their self-respect. Fine? Okay. Then next, the British scorned them. Okay, the British scorned them. Scorn means lack of respect for someone. Fine. So the British do not respect Indians anymore. The farmers and the artisans were the worst hit. And who were worst hit in the society? It was the farmers and the artisans, because they are both physically and financially poor. Clear? Next, heavy taxes ruined the farmers. Then the Britishers, they levied heavy taxes for the goods sold to them. Okay, when the Britishers gave work to the farmers, okay, the Britishers, they have bought all the land from the farmers and from the peasants. Okay, now he gave those farmers of the country to harvest and to grow crops. So what happened? These heavy taxes, it ruined the farmers. Ruin means barbaad kar dena. Clear? The British cut the thumbs of expert artisans. So the British, what did they do? They slowly tried to cut the thumbs of the expert artisans. That means they always try to remove from the ground. Means I would like to tell you that kinara kar dena. Okay, so this was the thing how the British dominate Indians. One by one, it try to avoid all the people, those who are good, those who are strong in the society. Clear? Next, the British used every method to make maximum profits. So, this was the thing that the British needed most, profits. Okay. So, the British used every method, it tried each and everything, every way to make maximum profits. So, what did they do? The imports from England became tax free. So, this was the main thing. What did they do? When they bring things from England to India in order to sell it in Indian market, the tax was completely free. There was no tax over the things, over the goods being imported from England to India. Clear? Whereas when the khadis, okay, the product of Indian, when it was sold to the outside, to the world, then they levy a heavy tax over them. Fine. So, this was how the British tried to control Indian market. Fine. Okay, next. Now, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, 1772 till 1833. Okay, now let us see who was Raja Ram Mohan Roy and what was his contribution towards his society. Okay. Raja Ram Mohan Roy understood what was wrong with the country. Okay, this man was an educated man and he was a man with great values. He was having a very good, he was a very good human being. Okay, he could easily understand what was wrong with the country. कि country में क्या चल रहा है उसे बहुत अच्छे से पता था. He tried to reform the society. Then what did he do? He tried to reform the society. Reform the society meant the society was already scattered. The higher class and the lower class were not living in peace, in unity. So, he tried to reform the society again. Okay. He tried to make collaboration between the upper caste and the lower caste, the upper classes and the lower classes people of the society. Fine. So, he tried to reform the society. He taught people that the main precepts of all religion were the same. Then what did he teach? He taught people that the precepts of all religion were the same. Okay, that it is not a different thing whether you pray to this God or you pray to that God. Whatever God you pray, God is one. So, if God is one, why do you form different ways of worshipping? Why do you follow different laws? Okay, so he tried to tell that we are all one. Okay, we are not different, we are same. Clear? Then he in 1757 till 1849 emphasizes the practical use of knowledge. Fine. He emphasizes, he tried to bring the practical use, okay, the practical use of knowledge. Like earlier, it was only a belief. It was only a belief. We have a ill belief on something, but he tried to prove it. He bring it into practical use by showing it to the people. Clear? What did he do? He went to England. Okay, then he went to England. There he reminded the British that rulers too had a duty towards the subjects. Okay, now see here. Now see, what did he do when he went to England? When he went to England, he reminded the British. Okay, now why did he go to British? Why did he go to England? And who did he reminded? Now see here, the British East India Company is having a supreme power. Okay, like we Indians, we are being ruled by the Prime Minister. Okay, so in the same way, East India Company was also having a supreme power. And who was that? That was the Queen of England. Clear? It was she who instruct her followers what to do. She asked her officers to make these rules and implement those rules and work over Indians and force Indians in this way and that way, try to harass, try to bring them under control. These were all given authority by the Queen. Clear? So, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he went to England to meet the Queen. Okay, and then he reminded the British, okay, that means he reminded the East India Company that the rulers, now who are the rulers? They are the Britishers, okay. So he reminded the British that the rulers also had a duty toward their subjects. Now who are the subjects? The subjects are the Indians. Fine, the subjects are the Indian. So now it is not only the duty of the subjects to work hard or to pay the tax. Fine, it is also the duty of the rulers towards their subjects. Subject means towards the public. Clear all of you? Okay, next. Then what happened? He started newspaper in India. Fine. After this, he came back to India and he started newspaper in India. But the Britishers stopped them in 1823. Now, after publishing the newspaper, the Britisher got suspicious. Okay. So, what did British think? The British thought that if the newspaper, if the newspaper would be pressed, okay, then the people, the subject of the country would come to know about what is happening where. Like suppose we are having a newspaper every day. Yes or no? We read newspaper every day. So through newspaper we come to know that what is going on around the world. Yes or no? Otherwise there is no other way of knowing. Yes, nowadays we have internet. So through internet we can know easily. But earlier there were no internet. Internet came just few years ago. Okay, mobile phone came in 1999 or 2000, you can see. So it's only 20 years that we are using mobile phones. But internet came something around 2005. Something around 2005, yes. Okay, it was then that internet came in the world. It was introduced in the world. Okay, earlier there was no internet. So long before, how do people communicate with each other, or how do they come to know about the news of the other state or other country? It is through the newspaper, with the help of the newspaper. Okay, so when Raja Ram Mohan Roy started newspaper in India, the Britishers, they suspected, what did they suspect? They suspected that if we let Raja Ram Mohan Roy run this newspaper, then the people of India would come to know about the policy of the British. Okay, and the people, they may revolt against us. Okay, so actually the Britishers, they were scared. So this was the reason why they stopped the newspaper of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. That means the newspaper of India. Okay, students, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so today in this video I am teaching you only the first part. It's only up to here. Okay, and the next part I will be teaching you in the next class. Fine, I hope the half part of the chapter is clear to you. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, so this was the first part of the video. Okay, so I hope the chapter Glimpse of the Past is really enjoyable. Okay, it is really very interesting. So the next part, that what happened, okay, what did the British do or what did the Indians do, how did they overcome this struggle, okay, we will be learning in the next video. Fine students? Okay. Thank you for watching.